Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make a round drawstring bag. So we'll be using this Ankara fabric, this cardboard paper, taperule and scissors. So guys, this is the pattern we are going to be using for our drawstring bag. I just placed a bow on a cardboard paper and I drew a circle shape. Then from one end like this, I ruled 3 inches. I measured 3 inches and I ruled it. That's why you are seeing this one like a semicircle. I just minus 3 inches and ruled it out. And this is what it looks like. So this is the pattern we are going to be using. So on your Ankara fabric, this is Ankara fabric we are going to use. Ankara fabric, place your pattern on it this way and pin it down. You are going to cut it out. This Ankara fabric is on fold, it's true. So when you are done pinning, you can trace out this your pattern. So you can remove your pin. This is 2. I'm going to use this pattern again to cut on the lining. I've also used this pattern to trace out lining. So I'm going to sew this lining this way, from this end to this end. Then this Ankara fabric, turn it. This is the right side facing right side, this way. Then from this edge, measure 1.5 inches. This way, 1.5 inches. Then from this 1.5 inches line, measure 1 inch this way, 1 inch. So when you want to stitch this, you are going to stitch this way. Stitch from this point to this point. You skip this point and start stitching like this. Stitch to this point, skip this point, then stitch here and here. So this point and this point, you skip it when you are stitching. You stitch the way. So I'll go to my sewing machine and stitch. So guys, I have stitched round and I also stitch this. Look at the 1 inches. I didn't stitch this 1 inch and stitch to this point. So we'll turn this inside out. So I have turned it inside out. So now we'll fix the handle of the bag. This is what I'm going to be using for the handle, and the length is 18 inches by 3 inches. So what you will do is you fold half an inch, and you fold it yourself. You run a straight stitch here and another stitch here. That's what I'll go and do for the both handle. So guys, this is the handle. I'll stitch it. So you come back to the bag, then you measure. This is 9.5 inches. You get the middle. The middle will be 4.5. You mark the middle. Then from the middle, take your tape rule, 2.5 inches and 2.5 inches to this side too. So you place your handle on that 2.5 inches line and pin. Place this. So I will do the same thing for this other handle. So I have fixed the both handles. All you do is to go and stitch on the handles straight down. So I'll go to my sewing machine and stitch. So guys, I've stitched the handles. So now you put the Ankara fabric inside this. Remember the lining, I have not torn it inside out. This is the right side of the lining, right side facing right side. So you put your Ankara fabric inside your lining this way. You arrange it. So when you have arranged your Ankara fabric inside your lining, you can stitch. You stitch half an inch round. Then when you get to this point, don't stitch about 2 inches. Don't stitch 2 inches or 3 inches. Let's say 3 inches. Don't stitch this point, but you can stitch all the way from here and stop here. So I'll go to my sewing machine and stitch. So guys, I've gone ahead and stitched this. So I left this space open and I stitch the other ones, as you can see. So I'm going to turn inside out from this space. After turning out, put in your lining, put it back into your bag. So this space that I turn inside from, you go to your sewing machine now and stitch. So we'll stitch this place like top stitch it round from this point and stop it. So I'll go to my sewing machine. Because I have stitched the edge round. So remember this 1 inch space I left behind here. So what you do is to go to your sewing machine now. You stitch from the beginning of this opening, you stitch straight down like that till this edge here. This is the first stitch you run. You stitch from here, from this point to this point. Then from this other point, you run your stitch to this point. So your 1 inch space should be in between. When you want to sew, stitch this way, so that you don't stitch this part to this part. Stitch this way. So you run your stitch and run your stitch. I'll go to my sewing machine and stitch. So I have gone ahead and stitch round, and this 1 inch space is still open. So I stitch the first line and the second line. You can see the space, the 1 inch in between. So it's remaining the strip. We are going to pass through this band. This is the strip I want to use, and the length is 44 inches for the length, and the width is 1.5 inches. So what you do is to fold half inch and fold this way. then sew it straight down. I have two, so I will also do the same for the second strip. So guys, I've gone ahead and stitched the strip. So we use safety pin to insert it into the bag. One strip at a time first. So we are going to fix this one. Fix this way. So you bring this one this way, then this same strip, fix your pin. It will go through this other part. So this is the first strip. It went through here, and two of them came outside through here. So this second strip is going to go through here and to come outside through here. So I'm still going to use safety pin to insert it. This is the other strip. Then the rest of the strip is going to go through here. So guys, we're basically done with our bag. So when you pull this strip, the bag will form. When you use it, this is what you have. You can tie this point so it doesn't go into the bag. Also tie this. So guys, this is the finish of our Ankara Round Drawstring Bag. This is what it looks like.